After you download the Microsoft Visual C++ IDE and run it, it should look something like this. There's a start page here with some information. There's a solution explorer to the left, should be blank, and here at the bottom there's an output pane. Alright, to get started, what we want to do is create a new project. Clicking on that, a dialog box will come up. We want to make sure we start a C++ project, and this IDE can do a lot of things for us, but we're going to be using the Win32 console applications throughout the entire course. Alright, and then down here we're going to enter a name. In this case I'm going to call it the Hello World application. And keep in mind, just take note where it's saving this, or you can save this wherever you want. It's in Documents, Visual Studio 2008/projects. Okay, once you do that, hit the OK button, and a wizard will show up. This wizard will help us set up the console application. So what we're going to do here is just click Next. It's important that you don't click Finish, because what we want here is actually an empty project. Alright, we don't want this IDE to do anything for us. So choose a console application empty project and then click Finish. And what happens here, nothing happens in the start page, but in the Solution Explorer, it sets up some folders for us: header files, resource files, and source files. Okay, we're not going to be using these too much throughout the semester. First, we're going to focus on source files. That's where we're going to copy and paste our source. So if you right-click on that folder, a little dialog will come up, and then you want to go Add New Item. Click on that, and another dialog box will show up. Okay, and this is different kinds of things we can do. In this case, we don't want to make a form or a class or anything. We want a C++ file, a .cpp file. And then we'll enter the name for that. And here I'm going to call it Hello World. I'm just going to make it one word, okay, without any spaces. And it should save that in the same project folder from before. Alright, hit Add, and what we get here is a blank file, a blank .cpp file. So you can see that there. Now we have the start page and this file. This file is just basically a text editor. If you want to get rid of the start page, what you can do is right-click it and hit Close. Okay, so this is where the source code is going to be written for our program. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste the Hello World program, so Control V, that we found on our online assignments. Okay, so here's just some basic code. We have some comments here, preprocessor directive, and a main function with one line of code here, cout, and a return. Now, to make this run, what we're going to want to do is compile it. So if you go to the build section, you'll see all these things we can do. We can actually just go ahead and compile it. But what I'm going to do is click Build, and that'll compile and link everything for us. So let's scroll down and see what it did. It compiled. Okay. Then it linked up everything it needed to do. And then finally built our exe file, which we can now run. And it says everything is done and one build was succeeded. Alright, so now let's run our files. Let's run our program. And I like to use start without debugging. So the shortcut there is Control F5. When you click on that, the console should come up and our program should run. So there's the Hello World, and then the console application says press any key to continue to sort of exit the console. So when I do that, it's gone. Alright, so that's the basics for compiling and running a program in Visual C++. Now let's go ahead and modify this. Instead of Hello World, I'm going to change that to Hello C++. Certainly if I copy and paste this line, Control C copies, and then Control V will paste it, I can put there, I can paste in another line, put in my name. So now let's compile this new program, build, and we'll see it run through. It'll compile it, it'll link up everything, and then it'll build our exe. It says it succeeded. If there's errors or anything, it'll tell us what they are and where they are. And then running it, we can see start without debugging here. When we run it, you can see the new lines of code. The hello C++ with John Redden. Okay, now those are the basics for creating a project and writing a program and running it. Now let's go see where our files are at. Okay, so I clicked on Windows Explorer and I have navigated to Documents, Visual Studio 2008 folder, and then Projects, and then the Hello World folder. Inside there you have another Hello World folder, but the first debug folder here, this is where the application file lives. This is that .exe you can actually click on to run the program. But if we go back, the Hello World folder there contains the project file and the all-important C++ source file. This is the file that you're going to be sending to your friends and sending to me when you turn in programs. Okay, and this is where it lives. So again, within Documents, it saves under the Visual Studio 2008 folder, Projects, and these are all the projects that you'll have there. And this was the Hello World project. Inside there you could find the file that we're after. You can actually open this file up with Notepad as well, just to see what it looks like if you didn't have the IDE on the particular computer you're working with. Okay, so these are the basic steps for starting a new project, writing a program, compiling it, and running it.